Lost versus From. Which is better? One of Lost's biggest strengths as a show was the fact that every main character of the cast was just as important as the next, and each character's story was thoroughly delved into. Each episode focused on a specific character, and as we followed their story on the island, we also followed their personal journeys before the island that lead to them being there. Lost had one of the best character ensembles of all time, and almost every character contributed to the narrative in a great way. From also has a great cast, with the main character being very interesting and captivating. Each character has different backstories and motivations for surviving in the town, and the conflict between characters is great. From, however, is a much shorter show and can't spend nearly as much time developing the characters as Lost did due to its much longer runtime. From does give us plenty of great characters to get attached to, but not as many as Lost did, and it's hard to get as invested in characters as people were with Lost. Alongside the characters, Lost's biggest strength was its extremely captivating mysteries. The island, the people, and the forces behind everything were all so intriguing. Each episode built the mystery more, and after building it up for 6 seasons, the mystery of the island was truly one of the most captivating ever on screen. The show had so many different mysteries, and every single one was interesting and all left people wanting answers. Just like in Lost, From is built on characters and mystery. The mystery in this show is extremely well done and interesting. Questions like where the town is, who was chosen, and how do the people get out have been captivating viewers from the start of the show till now. Each episode builds on the mystery, and as the story unfolds, we get more and more interested. As good as the mysteries in this show are, Lost are just a bit better. Whether it's due to how long Lost went for or the fact that the flashbacks flash forwards were genius in storytelling, Lost wins in mysteries. Only slightly as From is extremely well done too. Lost had a total of 6 seasons, with most having roughly 20 episodes. That is a lot of episodes to keep mysteries and characters interesting, and after a while you can tell that there is some filler placed between key moments. Had Lost been only 5 seasons, or maybe even 4, the filler could have been completely cut out and the show as a whole would have been much better paced. But unfortunately, the 6 seasons dragged the show out a bit. Even though the 5th season had so much good stuff, it could have been merged with the 6th to eliminate filler and produce a better ending. From, on the other hand, is a much shorter show with only 3 seasons so far and 10 episodes in each. Now, even though From isn't finished, the way it's going, it looks like it will be done with 4, and that is perfect. These shorter seasons eliminate any filler and get straight to all the important stuff. There is never really any drag, and we don't have to wait nearly as long to find out what's next. The shorter seasons have worked perfectly in From's favor as a mystery thriller show that delivers each episode. The one thing everyone wanted from Lost was answers. It created an entire fandom around figuring out the mystery. And while Lost kept the big answers for the end, one thing it did well was giving smaller answers throughout the show. Things like the Hatch, the Others, and the Dharma Initiative were all given answers to throughout the seasons, among many other things. Where the show was let down was some of the answers in the final season. Some felt like they didn't entirely fit the story the show telling, and some questions were never even addressed. Regardless, most of the Lost mysteries were answered great and kept people interested. From has so far taken a bit of a different approach to answering questions. Unlike Lost, the first 2 seasons didn't really answer too much, only smaller things like what happened to Boyd's wife or where he found the talismans. Not answering much in the first 2 seasons felt a little bit strange at times, but it did keep things interesting. Where From shines, though, is its answers in season 3. The latest season finally answered many of the big questions, and the answers were amazing and were really cool. So while Lost did a better job at answering mysteries across the show, From's big answers landed a bit better than Lost did. So this round is a tie. Lost was a masterpiece of storytelling. Whether or not all the answers were great, it's undeniable that the story kept people hooked until the end and the characters were perfect. The show gave us so many amazing emotional moments, and even though the last season had flaws, the emotions we felt from the characters and the story stayed pretty strong throughout. The high points of Lost are some of the best TV ever done. From is also fantastic when it comes to storytelling. Like Lost, the show has kept people hooked every episode, and people are very invested with the characters. This show also excels in emotional storytelling. As good as this show is, though, it just hasn't hit the same peaks that Lost did. Again, whether that's due to screen time or the connection to characters as we watch their personal journeys is hard to know. While both shows are amazing, Lost just had higher highs. Lost's runtime, in all honesty, should have been only 4 seasons, 5 max. The showrunners have even said that themselves. The length of the show led to dragging in the last few seasons, and while they had so many great moments, it would have been better if those great moments didn't have unneeded episodes between them. Lost would have truly benefited from a shorter runtime, which is something From learned form. From so far has 3 seasons with only 30 episodes. That is the equivalent to 1.5 seasons of Lost. This shorter runtime allows the story to progress perfectly and gets to hit all the important moments right after another, with adding unnecessary stuff in between. From learned from Lost and incorporated a shorter runtime for their story. If there's one thing Lost did best, it was keep people hooked for 6 seasons straight. The combination of the mysteries, the characters, and the storytelling created one of the most intriguing stories ever told, and by the final season, people were dying for answers. Lost truly showed how to keep people engaged. Just like Lost, From is an extremely intriguing show. While its storytelling and characters may not be at the same tier as Lost's was, From adds the element of horror. This survival aspect adds so much intrigue to the show and keeps people interested, wondering who will survive each week. From added new aspects to the previous formula to keep people hooked, and they did a great job. This round is another tie. Thanks for watching.